I'm telling you, the Arkansas Economic Development Commission is essentially writing my parodies for me. They're writing my parodies for me. But before we get to that, let's talk about this article from last week. I mentioned it briefly last week that Michael Preston, the head of the Arkansas Economic Development Commission, for the fourth year in a row, got a $54,000 bonus. Now, this Michael Wickline has the story here. But buried towards the end of the article, we have a quote from Governor Asa Hutchinson about, let's see here, about China and where we are on China. All right? So this is something that I thought was interesting because a lot of people may be under the impression that the Chinese deals are on hold because of Donald Trump's trade policies with China. This is Representative Dan Douglas. Okay, so Representative Dan Douglas, Republican Bentonville, who chairs the House Counterpart Committee, said Preston, quote, is doing fairly good with the state recently announcing several new businesses. He said he didn't know how the status of the Chinese-owned Sun Paper's proposal, paper mill near Arkadelphia. So he didn't know about the status of the Sun Paper from the Shandong province. Sun Paper announced the mill in 2016 and has pledged to invest $1.8 billion and create 350 jobs. Hutchinson said Wednesday that, quote, Sun Paper project is proceeding, and we are very pleased that we will own an American city. I'm sorry, no, he didn't say that. Sun Paper project is proceeding, and we are very pleased that the environmental engineering work has been filed by Sun Paper for the air quality permit. Public hearings took place a couple of weeks ago, and there were no objections. That means the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality and the Federal Environmental Protection Agency are reviewing the application, and the state could issue permits in the next couple of months, the governor said in a written statement. The state hopes for a spring 2020 groundbreaking. So, who knows? I mean, it looks like these deals are, you know, we still have the governor. I'm telling you, I don't understand this at all. The CIA and FBI are raising red flags about China, intellectual property theft. The vice president is going and trying to tell people, listen, China is a big threat. I talk to people in government. I talk to people at high levels of government outside the state. They don't understand why anybody, let alone a Republican governor, would be doing business with the communist Chinese, would want to welcome these communist Chinese companies in here. They don't understand it. Folks, if these were Russian companies, people would be losing their minds. But for some reason, China is okay because China is still a textbook communist country. And I think there are people that think that, oh, well, you know, then somehow that's acceptable because they lobby our politicians. And that's another whole thing that we need to ask about. Why China? What are there other incentives going on? You have to ask it. Tucker Carlson's done an entire expose on Fox News about, and not to mention Peter Schweitzer in his new book, saying that if you take Peter Schweitzer's new book's basically saying that there's nothing illegal about China coming in and buying a United States bank and then employing political families' children or politicians' children at the bank, paying them outrageous salaries. There's nothing illegal about that. That's not considered wrong or illegal in America. Go read Peter Schweitzer's book. It answers a lot of questions, but raises even more. Why China? Why are we continuing to give taxpayer dollars to China so that they can come in here, use our resources, and send their profits back home? There were 2 individuals indicted last year for stealing Arkansas rice technology, Chinese nationals. They steal our stuff, right? They're not creating it themselves. They've got a 100-year plan. It doesn't make any sense, okay? We're in the process. Arkansas farmers are in the process. American farmers in the process. They're going through a lot right now. And they're willing to, and many of them are patriots, and they're willing to hurt now so that we can regain our sovereignty in the world market. Eventually, hopefully, nobody has tariffs. There are no tariffs. Eventually, that's the goal, okay? Whether you agree with it or not, that's the goal. And if that's what we're doing as a country, and that's what I would call some, some nationalism I can get behind, why would we want to undermine it by bringing the communist Chinese? These are not private companies. They're not private companies. They are communist embassies that we're welcoming here in the nation. And the FBI says they got investigations about Chinese nationals in all 50 states and what they're doing here. It makes absolutely no sense. I think we can have a positive relationship with China moving forward. But why China? Why not American company? If you're going to give taxpayer money to incentivize people or businesses to move to Arkansas, why not find some American companies to do it? Why China? It boggles the mind. And if this were Russia, people would be having a cow, right? Because Russia is some huge threat. When China is a much bigger threat economically than Russia is. I mean, they're invading the South China Sea. That's like the distance from Florida down to South America. That's how far the Chinese are going from their mainland into the South China Sea. And go listen to the vice president. I mean, they're using political means. They're infiltrating Hollywood. I saw that movie, The Meg, and it was like a Chinese tourist promotion, towards the end there. And I thought, wow, it's clear that the Chinese paid for this movie in some way. And you know what? Our Vice President Mike Pence even said that the Chinese government are influencing local politicians. I mean, at all levels of government. And we've got a video that demonstrates just that. And the stark contrast, from what I can tell, between the Trump administration and what the state of Arkansas is doing with China. There doesn't appear to be any slowdown. It's like we put all of our eggs in the economic development basket of China, and we're not willing to pull out. We're not willing to stop. Now, I don't know what, I promise you, the Hutchinson administration has had conversations with the Trump administration about this. I promise you they have. I mean, I have no idea what was said. Maybe these deals are acceptable to the Trump administration. I don't know. But I think that we definitely know that they've slowed down. We've got multiple reports saying that the trade war has affected these deals. As they should. I don't know of anybody who falls under the developing nation category of the World Trade Organization rules. I know no, except for one, China, that can be classified as a developing nation under the WTO and invest $1 billion in another country. Something is wrong here. And the Arkansas Economic Development Commission is writing my parodies for me. I'll give you an example. Go to this article, Joe. This is from the Arkansas EDC, Arkansas Economic Development Commission, arkansasedc.com. You guys aren't going to believe this. You're not going to believe what I'm about to show you. Headline from June 10th. Foreign direct investment brings jobs, investment home to Arkansas. So it's this big, propaganda piece about how great China is. Do you see? No. Scroll down or scroll back up. I want you to see that. Okay. Take my photo off there. Okay. Do you see what that is? That is a graphic of the communist state of China. But do you know what that photo is? Do you know what that photo is, Joe? This is hilarious. This is hilarious to me. That is a photo of Hawksbill Crag superimposed as the nation, the communist nation of China. Look at that. Hawksbill Crag, that is right on the edge of the Ozark National Forest, the northern part. It is elevation of 413 feet, and it's a beautiful place. There's a lot of people that like to have their picture taken there. Now go back to the Arkansas Economic Development Committee, and there it is, superimposed in China, with the headline, Foreign Direct Investment Brings Jobs to Arkansas. Now, I don't know about you, but I think somebody is out of touch. That's weird. And you're writing my parodies for me. I mean, Chinadelphia, hello? Hello? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I mean, the whole point of the Chinadelphia parody was to suggest that the Chinese are essentially buying Arkansas, and the Arkansas Economic Development Commission creates a graphic with a very popular peak in Arkansas and superimposes it over the nation of China. It's weird, man. Like there's some sort of unity going on here. Like I don't know, man. Like, is there some sort of foreign policy branch in Arkansas government I'm not aware of? I thought we were a member of the United States. I thought Arkansas was a member of the United States. I know. It's crazy. That is nuts. By the way, do you know who sent me this photo? You know who sent me this article? Notice it slipped through the cracks June 10th. I mean, we haven't covered it. It's July 2nd here. You know who sent me this? Somebody in government sent me this. That's all I'll say. But somebody in government sent me this. Because there are people who don't know what's going on. There are people who say, what is going on with this strategy? They don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to them. Sorry. I don't mean to get so worked up. But I think it's something that needs to be talked about. Something that needs to be discussed. Listen to this propaganda from your government, your taxpayer-funded government. Foreign direct investment is vital to the economic health of all states, including Arkansas. Foreign direct investment is vital. Vital. So in order for the health of Arkansas's economy, our own government says that we need foreign investment here. I don't know about you, but I mean, America first or national. I mean, I don't want to be dependent on foreign investment. We're Americans. Good grief.